Now the other coming.
Knowledge to ensure peaceful, secure elections for the citizens to effectively participate in the democratic process, to equip the officers with knowledge to ensure peaceful, secure elections for the citizens to effectively participate in the democratic process. That is our goal. So our objectives is that by the end of these 4 days, you should be able to explain the highlights of the human rights and freedoms that are key in elections. Explain the highlights of the human rights and freedoms that are key in elections. You should be able to discuss the human rights legal framework in relation to elections, to discuss the human rights legal framework in relation to elections, also to be able to understand your role of protection of human rights in the electoral processes, understand the role of the police in the protection of human rights in electoral processes, also to enhance the capacity of officers to effectively identify red flags and manage potential conflicts. Effectively identify red flags and manage potential conflicts. Lastly, you should be able to maintain professionalism, neutrality, and ethics while ensuring that voters and candidates exercise their rights during elections. Maintain professionalism, neutrality, and ethics while ensuring that voters and candidates exercise their rights during elections.
The message, the Uganda Human Rights Commission, it has been there supporting police in making sure that we preserve and protect the human rights that exist. And we always want to have our people refreshed in the new things that have come up in the lines of human rights protection, but also to re-emphasize our purpose or our role in protecting people, in preserving people during the people's rights in the electoral process. And one of the reasons this training is taking place. The most important thing is that we are always open to reports that come, and we do not leave the violators unpunished. So if anything goes wrong, if any right is violated, you're most welcome to the police station, report, and the IGP and his team will take action. We are so much committed to your protection and preservation of human rights. In English, Senior Commissioner of Police, Tusime, and the Deputy Director, Human Resource Development.
This is an initial training for police officers on a human rights-based approach towards keeping law and order during the election period. And for us, this is very critical to ensure that there is professionalism on the side of our law enforcement officers, to ensure that there is impartiality on the side of our law enforcement officers, but more importantly, to ensure that there is a free, fair environment that allows for all actors to participate in the electoral process freely, without fear, but also without any feeling of intimidation or threat. So we have drawn police officers from across the country who are very critical in the maintenance of law and order during the electoral period, to refresh their minds on how they need to ensure public order while adhering to a human rights-based approach, while maintaining a human rights-based approach principle at the back of everything that they do, so that we don't have chaos, we don't have violence during the elections, because as you very well know, election times come with tension, they come with anxiety, they come with excitement. Many a times, this results into conflict, it results into chaos, it results into violence. We want a violence-free election. We want an electoral environment that upholds each and everybody's human rights, which is different from what we have seen in the past elections. We've recorded incidents in the past elections that are not a good story for our country. This time round, we're making efforts through training, through civic education, through public education, to ensure that both the duty bearers, state officials, and the rights holders, the citizens of Uganda, are at par and create that harmonious environment to conduct a free, fair, credible, and clean 2026 general election.
Why do you think those people, the security personnel, misbehave? Because is it because of the ignorance, their poor welfare? What could be the reason? And then the other thing, in this nomination, we have started seeing this misbehaving because of discrimination, especially with the opposition people.
No, I don't think it's good to generalize that the entire police force sometimes behaves unprofessionally. No. I think it's important to say that we have seen incidents that are appalling, that have been prompted by individuals within the security forces. Not just the police, but even the other security agencies, even the army, even the intelligence organizations. So I don't think it's worth it to generalize and say the police behaves unprofessionally during electoral periods. But more importantly, because of some of those individual isolated incidents, that is why the Uganda Human Rights Commission is actually convening these trainings to ensure that we remind the law enforcement officers, but also all the law enforcement agencies, that they have a duty to act professionally, impartially, but also hinged of their actions should be founded on the human rights-based approach. And we don't only train the police, we convene these trainings with all the other security agencies, including the UPDF, including the intelligence organizations as well. But we only don't stop at that. We also convene engagements, meetings with these security agencies. And in this particular period, ahead of the elections, we are laying emphasis on these engagements with, of course, the security agencies such as the police, such as the UPDF, such as the intelligence agencies, such as, of course, the prison services as well, all that have a role in the maintenance of law and order, but also a peaceful electoral environment. So we will be convening more of these trainings, but also having more engagements with these agencies to ensure that we work hand in hand together to ensure that we have a violence-free electoral period, but also a period that upholds the the rights of each and every individual to ensure a clean 2026 general election.
Kakiri assured us a few seconds ago that their purpose was to make you comfortable, and I pray that you will be and forever be, so that whatever knowledge you pick from here, it's able to work for us in the season that is coming, but even throughout the work that we do. And therefore, I know very well the Uganda Human Rights Commission has been watching us, as well as showing us the way at times when we go wrong or right. But I want to believe Dr. Kami and team and the rest of the people that have been there always tell you, not particularly you as a human being or her, but the commission, that some of the violations that happen are not intentional. And I'm happy that you realize that some of them are as a result of, one, could be limited or lack of knowledge, but two, the circumstances surrounding the situations we are handling. It's not a defense though, but I know as long as knowledge and information are shared well, we are always put to make sure we protect and preserve, and we are very much aware. And I think many of us have been trying to do that. The reason we have the likes of doctrines and curriculum being put in place to make sure that the training we give is in line with what we are supposed to do. But on that point, I want to, on behalf of the police, the Inspector General in particular, to thank the Uganda Human Rights Commission that they've always been able to guide, but also offering such support that we build capacities in our respective units, and most especially in areas that we found lacking at some point. Now, like you said earlier on, most of these are refresher knowledge and information. And most of our people, especially when you look at the composition of the people that you have here, there are people that are so much involved in, yes, policing, but policing that so much points onto human rights protection, and to one other extent or smaller violations as well. The PROs that we have and human rights and legal services people in Uganda particularly has never been easy for police. And I'm sure most of you have been in the field and you have more experience than some of us could be having. And I believe it's one of those pushers that our supporters, our partners in Uganda Human Rights Commission find it necessary to always refresh and equip us with knowledge that can make actually us perform better in whatever system that we are performing with. In most cases, we've been pointed at as people that protect the powers that be, and so eventually we violate the rights of those that either supposed to vote or the ones that are supposed to We may not have the money to put it, but in your territories, will you please use any chance to educate whoever is supposed to be educated on what you're actually going to be from here? I know there are others, but you're going to get supplementary that is particularly put, and I hope we are conceptualizing what we bring now to the current situation. And I believe we should be able to use this information to protect the process that is on, to protect and give actually the rights of people well preserved during the election process itself. And when that is done, we are sure that one, resources will be saved, and human beings will be satisfied with what they are going through. But if we fail to do that, we are likely to have ourselves fail right from the beginning. But I know we won't fail, because one thing is that we have those that care, and we have those that have found time and resources to equip us. The PROs, I would want to appeal, and I want to believe something is connected with what we are going to do today. That there is need for you to have human rights observance at the back of your mind every time you are reporting. And then what you put out is what people will receive. If they receive it in a manner that they are being violated, then our work will all go to train. My prayer is that we will not get into that. And those that do the investigations, please be as sensitive to human rights as possible. CI, your job is quiet, but let it be objective in this period. And of course the period after. And I believe the 4 days that we have here should be able to give us the basis of what we need to have ourselves safe to our home. Good enough, I see so many.
Expected to see a representative from the media as one of the people in the panel there, because we have a lot to handle with the issues of the media. The problem is there with these guys of the media. A very big problem. Thank you. So much, all I see, as you say, however, I'm going to follow the program here. When I see it on page 2, of course I expected to be Kandwa, but when I saw the program today, again it shows that we were supposed to be in a hotel. So is that I should be able to have both as soft copies or hard copies of the presentation. That makes me remind myself when I get back to my unit, at the same time polish my strategies of communicating, particularly on issues that will come on human rights during the forthcoming elections. Have a joint section with other stakeholders, especially the electoral commission, because we are no stakeholders in policy elections. So if it goes one side, the other side will not know what we have done so. So if we were to be together, at least each could see where the mistake is and we could try such fundamental rights of our citizen.
That's why. Madam Maureen, can you run? course, this is a moment in which